Good evening. The time is 6 p.m. and the Lebanon City Schools Board of Education, August 18th, regular meeting will now come to order. Will everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Irvin, roll call, please.
Mr. McCutcheon,
Present.
Mr. Gliotti,
Here.
Mr. Lane,
Here.
Mrs. Dalton,
Here.
Mrs. Cope,
Here.
Section 4, adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or corrections on this evening's agenda? Hearing none, Ms. Irvin, roll, please.
Mr. Gliotti,
Yes.
Mrs. Cope,
Yes.
Mrs. Dalton.
Yes.
Mr. Lane,
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon,
Yes.
motion carried.
Number 5, section communications and reports, hearing of the public. We have 2 people that have signed up to speak. The first is Mrs. Langdon, but I'm going to read something first. But if you could just bear with me. I'm going to address public participation at our board meetings. As our policy recognizes, Lebanon City School District's Board of Education values the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. I want to emphasize a few points addressed in our policy concerning public participation to ensure open communication and allow for a fair and orderly expression of such comments while conducting meetings productively and efficiently. First, I'd like to clarify that any person who wishes to address the board will be limited to 5 minutes unless extended by the board president. All statements must be directed to the board president or presiding officer. The speaker shall not address or question board members individually, any staff member, or anyone attending the board meeting. Furthermore, the board president may terminate or interrupt a person's speaking session when not abiding by the regulations or when a public participant's statements are repetitive, obscene, and/or comments that constitute an actual threat. The board is simply not willing to permit repetitive speech of a harassing nature. That is not the purpose of the public comment portion of our meetings. And Mrs. Langdon, you've appeared before this board on 2 occasions, June the 16th and July the 21st, and your husband once on June the 16th. The board has heard your comments and concerns regarding the color guard and the band program. We have also heard on multiple occasions your concerns about Mr. Severs and this board. At this time, do you plan on speaking on any new issues that have not been previously discussed?
I have other comments from other, community members.
Those other community members are welcome to come in and give their testimony.
I guess their concerns are the fear of retaliation.
There's no retaliation. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to our next person that would like to speak. And I hope I can read this correctly.
You guys were fine. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I just haven't gotten a reply back from you guys, is really the reason I kept coming back. The kids left the district because of safety. So that's a really big deal, I think, that if your kids don't feel safe coming to school, I just like an open conversation with them.
We've had plenty of open conversations with you, ma'am. I mean, in the midst of all this, I remember handing your son a community builders award. We've been dealing with this for over 3.5 years. I was in the room when all these discussions occurred. I support the administration. I agree with it. I agree with the decision, and we're going to move on.
It's about my children, the fact that they started kindergarten here in Lebanon City Schools, and they're a junior and freshman, and they don't feel safe coming to school here.
Well, I don't.
That's where too far. Is issue
Yeah.
is when your school employees are calling my husband's employer. The issue and the decision that you made about me, that is a separate issue. I've never had a conversation with anybody in this room, including Mr. Sievers. My attorney even asked for a meeting last year, and he declined. When I said, this is going too far, it's infecting my kids. I've never had a conversation. And so the only
Like
way
I said,
can do it
as
is
far
to
as the
for my
board is,
5 minutes.
as far as the board is concerned, this issue's closed. Unless you have
It's being
more,
bullied as a closed
as long as if you would like to talk about something on the agenda or something different. We've heard all the things you've said.
So why haven't you replied? Why haven't
Ma'am, I don't agree with you.
you don't
I
agree
think
with
you're,
me?
I think,
My
I
daughter's
think,
here. You don't agree with my daughter
I
that
think,
doesn't feel safe going to
well,
school?
like I said, we're not going to argue
I'm
this.
not, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
how
telling
can
you, you're not
decide
going to
what-
speak at the meeting. I don't agree with the things you said. Some of the things you said, I was in the room, and that's not what happened.
Oh, I have them all recorded.
That's fine. That's fine. But we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay? Thank you very much. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next would be Aaron, is it Losi?
Yes.
Yep. If you want to come up to the mic and just state your name
Sure.
and your relationship to the district. And you have 5 minutes, ma'am.
And I have handouts, I don't know if it's easier to email what I'm talking about or pass this around of what I'm gonna reference.
Probably email, yeah.
Well, if you have copies, I'll take it.
Yeah, sure. I'll take one. Okay, if you just wanna take one and pass it around, I actually have 8 copies, just so you're aware of what I'm gonna reference. And my name is Erin Losi, and I live at 251 Hickory Meadows Lane. Sorry, I'm upset. Not nervous. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of my daughter and then every other family in the district whose children are being taken on what can only be described as unnecessary joyrides on the school bus. There appear to be many broken systems in your transportation department that need more oversight. For the past 2 years, I've had ongoing correspondence via email and phone with Mrs. Robertson regarding my child's excessively long bus ride. Each year, I've been met with various excuses, and I now regret that it took me a 3rd school year to finally ask for the bus route and view it myself. What I found was alarming. It appears there is no human oversight in reviewing these bus routes. If a computer is generating them, I only hope we're not paying someone to route manually because no one with a clear understanding of the roads in the district would approve this route, and I'll speak more to that later. For the past 2 years, my daughter, at age 6 and 7, was consistently getting off the bus at 5 p.m. or after. There were nights when I was calling the bus garage at 5:20 and 5:30 to ask where she was. That is not acceptable. Fast forward to the school year, when routes were released, I immediately emailed Mrs. Robertson on August 6th with concerns. She's at a new school this year. I followed up with Mr. Sievers on August 8th, and it was only when I copied a board member on August 13th that I received a response in 20 minutes. After receiving my daughter's bus route through a public records request, I'm even more concerned. Mr. Sievers explained that, quote, "Our buses only make right side drop-offs, which means your daughter's stop must occur when the bus is heading back to town to ensure a safe location. I reviewed the route myself, every single stop. There are at least 3 stops on that route alone that have a left side drop-off. So either this policy is inconsistent or that explanation is inaccurate. I'm asking this board to please review the route in front of you and explain to me why my daughter cannot be dropped off between stops 6 and 7. At 4:25 p.m., the bus is 0.4 miles from our street. Yet instead of being dropped off at that time, she stays on the bus until stop 20, getting off after 5 p.m. once again. I also want to address safety, which I know is most important to all of us, including myself. Between stops 6 and 7, the bus is traveling south on Liberty Cuter Road, where it jogs across Wilmington. If anyone knows where this area is, it is very dangerous. Cars are flying at 60 miles an hour from both directions down a hill, and Liberty Cuter jogs across it. It is unsafe for a car to cross, let alone a school bus full of students. And that is another sign that no one is truly evaluating these routes from a safety standpoint. I want to also address your bus stop appeal process. I successfully appealed a new stop 2 years ago due to safety concerns, and it was approved. I shouldn't have to go through that process every time my daughter moves to a different school. Safety isn't school dependent and where they're dismissing from. If we haven't moved and the safety concern still exists, the stop should remain in the system for the entirety of her school career. I will next be requesting my younger daughter's bus route because I no longer trust your system and who is routing these buses. I strongly encourage board members to conduct a random audit of other bus routes in your district because I believe that you will find more children being put through unnecessary, unsafe, and overly long routes for no reason. Please look at this route with fresh eyes and take a drive. It doesn't make sense, and I hope this issue can be resolved before my daughter dismisses school on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
So this is starting at dawn, right?
You start your, okay.
Oh, it says it right there, sorry.
Aaron, thank you. We'll look into this, okay? We'll get back to you. And when you speak to the board, you can relax and, I mean, we're all like really, okay. Because we're like,
I'm upset.
we're like really awesome people.
I'm just
I-
upset. My daughter's upset. Like,
Right.
I just want someone to respond.
Okay.
So, I will address something real quick. The Ohio Administrative Code that I copied in there, it deems at times where there are unsafe bus stops, and it's based off of, hills oncoming, speed on the road, distance between visibility, and so at those times, they don't do, left side. I apologize to you, that, the language, what I use in there is that we don't, but we don't do it when it's considered an unsafe bus stop. But this is the first time I wrote down that you successfully appealed this 2 years ago. That's information that I did not have. And so I can have a conversation with Mrs. Robertson. There are left side bus stops all the time in our district. And so what I said to you in the email was inaccurate, and I apologize for that. It's when it's deemed unsafe that we're not allowed to unload on the left side of the road and require a kid to cross in front of the bus.
That makes sense.
So that's the administrative code that I copied to you. That's the decision that, then it's up to the transportation folks to determine, and there are places where they determine it to be unsafe and not unsafe. And so I cannot speak for these stops on this bus route. But I wrote what I had in terms of information given to me, but I will follow up. Board, I can send you the email I sent to her as well. And has that information in it, but I'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay?
And thank you for coming in, Aaron. Item B, student board member update. We have a new student board member, Ms. Caitlin Berger, and we're going to turn it over to you now.
Well, I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Caitlin. I'm a senior and student body president at Lebanon. I'm really excited to be here. I was talking with Mr. Sievers. I knew my senior year I wanted to run for a leadership position within student council, and I was deciding between class president or body president, but I knew body president got to be here and be involved in the meetings and listen to what's going on. And as a future educator myself, I was really, really excited to have this opportunity to come here and see what goes on behind the scenes. So I'll start with my update. I think something that a lot of the community or the school body doesn't see with student council is all the preparation we do behind the scenes for homecoming, specifically in the summer. We met back on June 11th, so pretty early in the summer, right after school got out, to start planning homecoming, which is scheduled to take place on September 6th. In this meeting, it's our biggest meeting of the year. All 4 grades, all student council members meet at the high school, and we split into 4 committees. We pick the theme for homecoming. We spend a lot of time trying to decide that and see what will fit best with what our grade is into at the time. We split into 4 committees. So we have pep rally committee, which plans our pep rally. We find competitors who want to compete in our pep rally. We pick the games, the music. A lot goes into pep rally alone, so that has its whole separate committee. We have the court, which that committee picks the princess, prince, king, queen crowns and staffs, and then they help make sure the ballot process runs smoothly. Students don't actually count the ballots, but they do help within homecoming week, making sure that runs smoothly. And then Spirit Committee and Decorations Committee kind of run together, and they pick our Spirit Week themes. They come in the weekend before homecoming week and get to decorate the school, which is really, really cool. And they always do such a great job. And I'm really excited for this year because our theme is called Circus Lights and Hoko Nights. So we're planning on doing a little carnival circus theme, which I don't think has been done recently. So I'm really excited for that. Some other things we discussed at this summer meeting, we pick our freshman class president, which this year is Lucas Bosdell, and he's already doing a great job. And then we start planning floats. So seniors combine with freshmen, and we design a homecoming float, which we're scheduled to start building this week. And then Powder Puff, our Powder Puff game. We usually have a little more time to prepare, but homecoming is pretty early this year. So that's a little sneak peek at our t-shirts this year. I'm really excited that we got to do some tie-dye, and we have our theme on the shirts, and we'll start practices this week. But student council does plan that, which I think is a lot of, like, the community doesn't really see that part of student council, and that we get to have part and say in all of that, which is really, really cool. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on was upcoming Freshman Focus. Freshman Focus starts tomorrow at the high school, so all of our mentors got picked back in May. They had to apply to be a Freshman Focus mentor and got picked by teachers. And then they came in for a meeting on August 13th just to go through the schedule and what those 2 days will look like. And then we meet tomorrow around noon to help prepare the freshmen for their incoming year, which is a really crazy and exciting 2 days. So I'm really excited for that as well. And that's all I have for today.
All right. Well, thank you, Caitlin, and welcome. Item C is the superintendent report. Mr. Severs, do you need a minute, or?
I don't have anything specific besides some of the stuff that Jennifer is going to touch on in her presentation.
Okay.
So staff returned today to work, and then we have some more staff meetings tomorrow and conferences, and students start showing up on Wednesday. So it's a busy week for us.
Excellent. All right, so we'll go into board committee reports. And Student Achievement Liaison, Ms. Dalton.
All right.
You have the floor.
Back into school, and I'll just kind of reiterate our motto and mission here is reflective, respectful, and responsible. I think that if we continue with that, it's been working for us. And these are some dates that you might want to take a screenshot of or take a look at. For some of them have already passed, but there's upcoming open houses. There are parent-teacher conferences already to introduce the new school year that are taking place. So that's what's going on at each building. Okay, we welcome 34 new teachers, thanks to Brian Dalton and the whole team who interviewed and hired these teachers. It seems like a lot, maybe like, oh, that's high turnover, but really when you look at it, it's really not. There's 5 buildings. And when all the new teachers were presented today and came up, it's like new blood, new life that gets infused into these buildings with maybe new up-and-coming teaching processes. And then the current teachers can work with them and get them up and running. So I think that it's really a good mix coming in for the new year.
Not all of them are brand new out of college. We have some folks coming from other districts and things as well. Our biggest turnover this year is actually at Donovan Elementary School. Those of you that at the meeting this morning saw there were a lot of people at Donovan just because of retirements, mostly in that building.
Isaac, I think there is at least one Lebanon grad in that group as well.
There were 3.
3.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, so this morning, in addition to the teachers and staff meeting at the high school, the transportation department and bus drivers all met at the auditorium. And I was able to stop in on their meeting, and they had a seminar on situational awareness, personal safety is thinking at the speed of life, and crisis reality training. So I thought that was really great that we are educating our bus drivers because they have to deal with safety, they have to deal with so many things coming at them at once, and we really want to invest in, providing them proper education. And so it was good to see them there this morning. And then this is our staff. All the teachers and staff from all 5 buildings came together this morning for a meet and greet, starting off in the cafeteria, and wanted to thank John Bisman for providing the coffee, and then also our food service for providing healthy breakfast food for all of them. And then we moved to the gym where the marching band performed for us at the end, which was just so uplifting and so full of school spirit and just a very good atmosphere to start the new year. And then I think Mr. Sievers was going to comment on some of our recent statistics on like how we're doing and what we're tracking academically. Just a top line, not like I didn't have all the stats on that.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. Give me a second. I don't want to cast this. This morning we talked a little bit about it, and plan in the next, probably in September, early October, maybe having all of the full details. But initial report card information came back, and one of the things that we highlighted some this morning was just the academic achievement in areas where we've improved in the last year. And one of the our performance index, which is how well students are performing. So not only are they just passing the test, but at what rate? Are they accomplished? Are we accelerated? Advanced plus. And performance index determined is kind of a rating of how well we're doing in that regard. Overall, as a district, we are up this year and continue in a positive trend. But at Donovan, that went up, 1.5 points. At Berry, that went up over a point. At Lebanon Junior High, about 1.5 points. And at Lebanon High School, over 2 points. And so continue to not only pass the test at an improving rate, but also getting kids to stretch. And one of the areas that's happening is our gifted performance index is continuing to improve. And so part of that, we've put gifted intervention specialists back in place in the district and really supporting teachers. And I think we're starting to see some of the impact of that. Overall, also, we had a 22.5% total increase cross passage rate in our state tests. ELA 8 was up 6.5%. We've done a lot of really good work in that area in the last 2 years to work on some things, specifically Algebra 1, specific to the high school. And so those are students who weren't taking advanced math in 7th grade or Algebra 1 in 8th grade, but the students, they're taking Algebra 1 at the high school. It was up over 10% in passage rate. Just a renewed focus last year, also new curriculum. And so I addressed that this morning. I just want to thank the board and Mrs. Irvin on putting money, allocating money annually towards updating some curriculum in areas where we had some need. Algebra 1 was one of those areas. And as a result, it changed practices, but also performance has gone up significantly. A 10-point improvement in 1 year is really significant. Biology at Lebanon High School was up 8.2%. And American history at the high school was up 7.9%. So some really good growth areas of passage there. And then math in grades 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8 all saw improvement as well. Last year was the first year of a new math curriculum in those grades. This year we see implementation of new reading and ELA curriculum in those early grades as well. And so I think we'll see as a result, hopefully continued improvement and growth. Right now, we're still waiting for one final component of the report card to be released, which is why we'll have a more formal discussion in September about it. But we are looking at another 4.5-star rating. And based on that goes, we think the lowest it would drop to would be a 4 out of 5, if that doesn't come in where we think it will be. But right now, we're trending in that direction. So we just wanted to share some highlights this morning with the staff and let them know that the things that they're doing in the classroom is having an impact. And so we can't wait to share some of that more formally with the rest of our district. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. That's great news and, so academically focused, which is just great. So, thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Dalton. Moving on to CAC Committee, Mr. Gliotti.
Sure, thank you. Our committee met prior to this meeting today. A number of highlights to share. We discussed formalizing a mission statement that sets our meeting times to 4 times per year. We're going to formalize our dates, which will likely include not being prior to this meeting, which will give me time or someone time to present on the screen there as well, instead of reading our notes here, which I think will be great. We also talked about our membership being 7+, so we're going to look to add to the membership of the committee, and also to have our board vote on that committee membership every 2 years. Next, we moved on to the Ohio Revised Code, and we talked about the 5-year forecast becoming a new forecast with a new name, which could be 3-year forecast or a 4-year forecast. It's still somewhat undefined. Currently, it's going to be due on August and February each year, but because it's August now, the first submission is due August 15th, so Mrs. Irvin's quite busy. The state funding formula didn't change significantly. We talked about that, and how the new forecast could be a combination of the current trend of a year plus 3 projections or 3 total projections. It's still yet to be determined. We then moved on to the highlight of the governor vetoing pieces of the budget bill, and those pieces that were vetoed help schools quite a bit. And the message to all of us here and those tuned in is we really need to share the positive stories with our legislators. They need to hear what's going on good with the with our schools and what's happening, and that needs to get to them. Oh, yeah, and if anyone here or watching wants to be part of the committee, please feel free to contact me. I'd be glad to get your name to the board. We moved on. I know these are exciting pieces, but we moved on to Senate Bill 215, which is the homestead exemption proposal. The change there is a sliding scale to help all taxpayers, which affects low, medium, and upper income levels. Discussed briefly House Bill 314, which is now a harassing public records request relief type of action. So in cases where individuals or organizations are requesting information through the Freedom of Information Act over and over and over again, hours and hours and hours of research can be done and is done for those types of requests. Those lengthy and time-consuming requests can now be charged back to the individual requesting it if it's deemed as a harassing type of request. I thought that was interesting as well. I think the biggest highlight for everyone is that no new money, when we look at our financial plan going forward, is expected until 2028 or maybe 2029 at this time. We've done a very good job, a responsible job with budgeting and finance. We did touch on capital improvements. We have needs that exceed our funds, so analyses are ongoing and they'll be presented as they're available on what should come next and why. We spent a few minutes also discussing traditional taxation versus income tax options for school districts. It was just a discussion, but we looked at an initial analysis that showed projections in both cases. Part of our discussion led to, if there was no property tax, it would result in something like a 3.5% income tax, or a combination of the both. But again, these are just analyses just to gauge what impacts could happen in either tax scenario and what we would think about in the future going forward. Final note on our capital needs, we do have energy improvements coming up. We have a high school roof issue we need to address, and those items are ongoing, and again, more information coming as well. And the close of our meeting, 2 points. We talked about our desire as a district to be not only fiscally responsible, but transparent. And Mrs. Irvin's team has developed a 24-month communication plan, which you may have already seen some pieces from, that includes Facebook, website, videos, and handouts. Mrs. Irvin would like to know that she really enjoys being an on-air personality. She enjoyed the video portions a lot, and if anyone is looking, for a weather forecaster, for example, Mrs. Irvin might be available. That is a lengthy update of lots of things. I'm available for any questions at any time on any of it, and I know Mrs. Irvin and the rest of our team as well. Thank you.
I just want to chime in real quick. So you mentioned income tax, and income tax tends to be a taboo.
Yes.
But I think we all understand we have to find relief for our seniors in the community. It's not guaranteed that the income tax is the solution, but our seniors can't be taxed out of their houses. And we all agree with that. Whether it's finding a way to tax the earned income, not the Social Security, right, the earned income, and to help those neighbors out and community members that have been here for decades, we've got to find a solution to that.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Mr. Gliotti?
Nope, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, our legislative liaison, Ms. Cope,
I have nothing to report. Everyone has been on
vacation.
vacation.
Excellent. All right, and Warren County Career Center liaison, Mr. Lane.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a meeting last Thursday. It was the standard beginning of the year. We approved several agreements, second readings and resolutions. Kind of hot off the presses today via email that I received from the superintendent is Representative Greg Landsman spent several hours on campus today and participated in lab work in multiple areas of the campus. And I think I even heard he had operated some heavy equipment at one time. So we have some pictures. I'm sure that Joel will be sharing those with Isaac, but and I'm also sure they're going to hit social media here shortly. We do appreciate him stopping in.
Is that it, sir?
That's it.
All right. Section 7, financial. I need a motion to approve our financial consent items A through H, please.
The minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go on to skip that and go on to Section 6. I need a motion to approve the minutes from our regular meeting on July 21st, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any questions, comments? Corrections? Hearing none, Ms. Irvin, roll, please.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes?
Mr. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Cope?
Yes.
Mr. Gliotti?
Yes.
Mrs. Dalton?
Yes.
Motion carried.
It's like deja vu all over again. Section 7, financial consent items. I need a motion to approve those consent items A through H, please.
So moved.
Ms. Irving, the floor is yours.
Okay. This is a very quick report. We're 1 month in of a 12-month year, so there's not a whole lot to report here.
I think they come in.
Just the marching band outside getting ready.
Getting warmed up, getting warmed up for the meeting teams.
Okay, so just a reminder, this is where we landed with May. As Mr. Gliotti mentioned, I will be proposing a forecast by October 15th. That's when my file deadline is. So I haven't looked at the board dates yet, but my guess is you'll be seeing this in September at the September board meeting. But currently where we were sitting, we were ending the year with a $15 million carryover. And again, 28, 29, looking for new money to maintain a 3-month carryover balance. So 1 month into the year, let's go ahead and skip that one. We are right on track. Great. So currently, we're at 128 days operating cash. We have been receiving property tax advances. So as you always hear me say, property tax is one of our biggest sources of revenue. It is the biggest source of revenue. And so as we get those advance payments, our cash balance goes up in these first few months. And then there's a significant period of time where we don't get any more property tax receipts for a while. And so our cash balance slowly goes down. That's the trend you'll see here. So we anticipate ending this year with about 112 days of operating cash. Target, we like to be around 120. So very close. So about 8% is where we should be. Revenues, we're at 19%. That shows exactly what I was just saying. We've received a lot of property tax advance. That trend, as we get to about month 3, month 4, you'll see that trend be spot on. But right now, those variances are very large. We're looking on the expense side. We've spent about 7.5%, which is close to that 8%. Still a pretty large variance because we have different times of the year where we spend money. We have on the wage side, we have supplementals and stipends that come in specific months. And then, of course, we just had summer months. We're gearing up to start spending for our services and supplies for the new school year. So again, a couple months, you'll see that trend start to really even out. But for right now, we'll have large variances on that first month. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Irvin. Item B, a list of monthly reports that are in your packet. C is amended appropriations. D is an amended certificate of estimated resources. E is the list of donations, and, we greatly appreciate all the work that our community members do in supporting the kids. F is to approve the consultant contract between Becky Kremer and Lebanon City Schools during the 2025-2026 school year. G is then and now, and in the packet, one of them was for a healthcare issue and something from the junior high. And H is to approve the preschool agreement between Lebanon City Schools and the Warren County Career Center for the 2025-2026 school year. Would you like to comment on any of those?
Are there any questions on any of those?
I didn't see, I thought you were over there, yeah.
No, Karen and I looked at each other to see who was going to talk about the Career Center agreement. Do you have any questions about that or what that's about? Anybody? So we are required by law to educate students starting at the age of 3, students with a disability who are identified. And so we do not have capacity or room in our building for as many of the programs and things that we have. So we have several satellite places, one of which is at the Career Center. So the Career Center students studying early childhood education and then partner and work. So it works for them to have students in the classroom and assisting. We provide teachers, and there's some aides, and there's some different, who provides what in the room, right? They provide the instructor, we provide the instructor for the high school students, we provide the teachers, there's different agreements there. One of the things that the Career Center came to us several months back and said, hey, we haven't looked at this agreement in 15 years since we started doing it. We need to adjust some snacks and supply lines that hadn't gone up in a while. Yeah, probably should, no big deal, send us an agreement. Well, they didn't, and then they asked to speak with us, and it turns out that what was the agreement that we thought we had 15 years ago, they had not been charging us for. And so they were covering the cost pretty much of the program. We were covering the cost of the teacher, and when their new treasurer came in and looked at things, they're like, hey, we have to come with some sort of cost-sharing agreement with Lebanon City Schools. If they were in our building, we'd be paying for all of it. And so it's a requirement. We have half the kids in there are students that are identified that we have to serve. And so what this charge is that whatever the rate is that they set for their preschool students that are attending school, that is private pay, the parents pay for it, they're charging us the same rate for those kids that Lebanon City Schools is placing there. We thought it was really fair, and quite honestly, we thought it was the agreement all along, but it turns out they had not been charging us for a considerable amount of time. So I think there was some cleanup happening at the Career Center, and things like this got caught in that cleanup, and we think it's the right thing to do. Obviously, we're required to educate those kids. So it's our recommendation that the board approves the agreement. We think it's a fair agreement. And anything else that you care to
No,
add?
I think that's, the biggest thing that I thought was great is they didn't ask for any back payment of anything,
Okay.
right? It's moving forward, let's take care of this, and I think it was great.
Excellent. Excellent.
Anything to add to that, Mr. Lane?
No, you covered it very well. I'm just wondering if I need to abstain on that one. Am I okay to vote on H? You're allowed to vote.
I think you're fine.
Right.
Any other additional questions? Hearing none, Ms. Irvin, roll please.
Mrs. Dalton?
Yes.
Mrs. Cope?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Gliotti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Number 8, public records request. The board does acknowledge the receipt of 2 public records requests as presented to you in your packet by the treasurer. Section 9, other educational consent items. May I have a motion to approve the other educational consent items A through E?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, and I'll just go ahead and read through those real quick. A is to approve the surrogate parents for Lebanon City Schools. B, approve all Lebanon City Schools bus stops for 2025-2026. C, approve the non-resident students of parent employees to attend Lebanon City Schools for the 2025-2026 school year. D is an overnight out-of-state trip for the cross-country team. And E is to approve the Lebanon City Schools Gifted Education Handbook for 2025-2026 school year.
On B, we will be allowed to make changes as you investigate.
Yeah, this happens every year. These are the setting of the initial routes, and they are constantly being modified. So if there's something that happens there, then those change. Our bus routes change almost daily with new students moving in or things happening, so. And obviously, it's the beginning of school and things happen at the beginning of school on a regular basis. So it takes kids longer to get on the school bus in the first, week or so of school. Drivers learning their new routes. And so, things will settle in a little bit in terms of the timing of that after the first, week or so of school. But the other thing, just to point out, in terms of the routes, and we had 10 either retirements or resignations this summer out of our transportation staff. And, of a staff of 80 to 90 staff members, that's a significant turnover. We were able to find replacements for almost all of them, but we also continue to be just a bus driver shortage nationwide, and we had some issues last year, as we know. And so one of the things that, particularly with some of our in-town routes and things where there's a lot of population density, they can drive to the neighborhood next door and get 25 kids off at one time type of thing. They've been able to increase some efficiency and double up and triple up on some different routes and kind of go run portions of it and come back. So I think there'll be some greater, it's significant changes there, but also, having to do so with fewer staff this year than what we've had even last year, which was fewer than the year before. So we're doing everything we can to get bus drivers, and we have a good subpopulation to start the year. We actually hired a few more kind of long-term everyday subs, people that don't have a regular route, but we're hiring and bringing in every day because we know we need just sub drivers every day. And so we hope that those 3 or 4 people that will be there every day will assist us in making sure that we don't have, open routes or things that we can't fill, so.
So just, it has been an ongoing issue. It's so much so that one of the first things I check every time we get an agenda is the bus driver resignations and employment, so.
Yep. That's not unique to us, though.
No, it is
right?
not.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, Ms. Irvin, roll call, please.
Mrs. Cope?
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Gliotti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Section 10, personnel consent items. May I have a motion to approve personnel consent items A through P? A through P.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just read through those, each one. Item A is retirements. B is the list of resignations. C is the list of new employment pending acceptable BCI FBI background check. D is a list of classified substitutes pending their BCI FBI background check. E is substitute employment for trainee bus drivers, non-CDL drivers, and bus aides. E, number 2, is substitute employment for permanent building substitutes. E3 is classified substitutes. F is a very large list of change of status for current staff members.
Just as a reminder, those are primarily a large number of them are new employees, so we hire them at a rate that's different than, we set them at the bachelor 0 rate, and then when they come in and we get all their transcripts and years of experience, we adjust that. Or if we've previously approved coaches, and then somebody within the staff leaves or something like that, and they reshuffle maybe some of the percentages of coaches. So that's primarily what a lot of those have to do with there.
G is a list of supplementals pending their BCI FBI background checks. H is our board resolution for the employment of non-licensed coaches. I is 2 additional volunteers pending their BCI FBI background check. J, leave of absence and unpaid days. K is a list of cooperating teacher stipends.
Those are people who have student teachers this year, and those stipends are paid to the district by the university, and then the district pays that out to the employees.
I don't remember us having very many Miami people last few years.
I know that we've worked really hard. Mr. Dalton does a lot of, going over to some of their recruiting days, and then also he's been speaking to some education courses over there about interviewing and things. I think it's gotten,
It's obviously made some.
it's made some relationships and built with their education department. He's done a good job with that.
Had to give a shout out to the Miami University.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say anything. L is a list of our Saturday school monitors. M is our district accompanist. N is a long-term substitute teacher, certified substitute teacher. I think everyone will recognize her name.
She couldn't stay away.
She could not stay away.
We have several intervention specialist vacancies with some medical issues or some things beginning of the year. And so Jody is back after a very brief retirement.
1 year.
And we're lucky to,
Yeah.
thrilled to have her back because we struggle to find intervention specialists, especially for these long-term sub positions. So it's great.
O is a list of tutors. And P is 2 additional game workers, and Kaylin Updike is one of our new teachers that is a Lebanon graduate. I think her maiden name was Kaylin Cornell. Yeah.
Shelley's daughter.
Yep, nice young lady, so. Any questions or comments of items A through P? Questions? Hearing none. Ms. Irvin, roll, please.
Mr. Gliotti,
Yes.
Mrs. Dalton,
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon,
Yes.
Mrs. Cope,
Yes.
Mr. Lane.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Section 11, board comments. Can you start us off, Ms. Cope? Any comments?
I have nothing.
Mr. Gliotti?
It was great to see the faculty and staff today at the high school. A lot of energy, lots of fun. Thank you.
Ms. Dalton?
Yeah, I just wanted to give some recognition to Mike and Amy Lane. I see here that they made a nice donation to the Water Assistance Fund, so you probably don't get enough recognition for that. And then also for Roy, who ran a whole day of sales at his Black Barn, and all the donations went to the Alumni Association. So I think he's done that for 7 years or 8 years. or
8
something.
years, yeah.
Yeah, so unsung heroes, so thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lane?
I think I'm good this week.
All right, and the only comment I have is Friday night at 7 PM at Northmont, the Lebanon Warriors are back in football action, and I am pumped up. I would encourage anyone that's listening, please go to football games, especially our home games. The band came in today for the first staff meeting, and they sounded great. They looked great. We have a new band director, and he looks like he's got a lot of energy. I'm concerned if the color guard keeps winning awards like they did last year, we're going to have to put in that additional building somewhere just to cover their hardware. But those girls, and that team is phenomenal. And the football team is, I mean, they look sharp at the scrimmage. It's going to be exciting. So this Friday at Northmont, and then next Friday is our home opener. So, and then I'm to Section 12, adjournment. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So, second.
Ms. Irvin, roll, please.
Mrs. Dalton,
Yes.
Mr. Lane,
Yes.
Mrs. Cope,
Yes.
Mr. Gliotti,
Yes.
Mr. McCutcheon.
Yes.
Motion carried.